Alrighty, welcome back to ESL's Late Night Cup. This is the final, I believe. So, best of 5, I believe. Best of 3, okay. Alrighty, so best of 3 on Frost. No, this is Polar Night, sorry. Oh god. I'm not fully awake. It is 9:16 a.m. and I haven't slept last night, so give me a break. Alright, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner is the purple Terran. It is Aces Crank dominating his way to the finals. Although we haven't seen his opponent's games, I'm pretty confident he can do it.
Oh, alright. Okay, so, I'm sorry. I was kind of confused by the lack of drones that he was producing for a moment. So I thought he's going for a very early pull, but nevertheless, in the top right side we have our yellow Zerg player, and he goes by the name of xardas.
So apparently he's German, so we've been told.
Yeah.
Which I think makes them German.
Yeah, it's a
German finals. Yeah.
Awesome.
With a German caster.
Awesome.
I feel ganged up on. No, I still feel ganged up on.
Alright,
okay.
Cool.
So let's talk about what we could expect. Well, I don't think there's any chance that Crank isn't going to go mech. I just feel like he is going to go mech. He's been going mech every night, and I think every game, and I feel like mech is probably best against Zerg, if anything, right now.
Yeah, definitely. So we even see a command center first here for Crank, and he has to be a little bit careful with his SCV. He has to go on the other side of the base. Oh, he's gonna lose the SCV. Oh wow! And there's even a lag in the wall in, so this is horrible here for Crank.
Yeah, really good start for xardas. He's going to be twofold effect. He actually delayed the command center by a small amount of time, and he's just annoyed the hell out of Crank, who's probably going to be very aggressive now, just to make up for that fact.
Yeah, he will be very aggressive with his commands and aggressively expanding here. But definitely wants to go for his factory here very fast on to get the map control and to have something against any early Zerglings. But xardas, he is deciding to go for a non-gas opener, and therefore building up his queens and getting more and more of his drones.
Yeah, going for a kind of a safe economic play, trying to get those queens out, get up to that lava level where he can start either droning up or scout out some sort of incoming aggression and get out whatever units he needs. I'm just curious as to which tech path he's going to go down, but I guess he might be waiting to see what his opponent does before he chooses what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at that. xardas is actually going for a very early third base. And Crank with the perfect sense, sending down the SCV and seeing exactly what's going on.
Yeah, he sees everything. Well scouted. So yeah, still no commitment into attack path from xardas, still just waiting. Macroing up really heavily, 3 drones on the way. And probably just going to start the creep spread and just wait it out. Very patient person. I probably already have attacked by now. 2 gases coming down finally from xardas at the 5-minute mark, 6-minute mark almost. And the factory and the reactor comes down for Crank, so he's probably going to go into Hellion production, as we've seen pretty regularly from him. Very effective play from the Terran player.
And he seems to be very comfortable with the position he's in. As he sees the early third base, he is like, alright, so I can just take my third base pretty early on. And yeah, therefore he is setting this up and getting his starport at the same time. So he will be going for some harass and then building up some siege tanks, I believe, and in order to set up the third base on his own.
Yeah, basically the same play he's played fairly regularly. Hellion harass into Marine tank defense, then into Banshee, and then whatever the hell he feels like. And we do see the Roach Warren finally coming down. That was killing me. With Ling speed being researched and 6 Lings on the way just for a bit of map control, probably to defend against any Hellions or any incoming aggression from early game tech units. We do see 5 Overlords in production, which is interesting.
Okay,
Definitely.
so xardas, I think he is more than just defending right now. He's building up a lot of overlords right here, and building up a lot of roaches as well. So he wants to go for a lot of aggression, faking that he is actually going for economy play here with the very early third base.
Yeah, just getting up all that lava just to get ready, get the injects going at about the 6-minute mark, wait for all the lava to pop, and then bam, huge amounts of units. The Baneling nest is on the way, so I think Crank knows something's up too. He's fallen all the way back home. He's pulled everything back. He's expecting these Baneling bust with Roach support is probably what we're going to be seeing with 20 Lings produced already. With that, in fact, 14 Lings on the map, 14 more on the way, 13 Roaches, 20 units, 20 Lings all up, and 6 Banelings so far.
Wow, a lot of Banelings here are being morphed in. 8 to the 6 are already, and the mine's getting set up here, but oh, there might be a nice shot, nicely done here. But still, so many of these Roaches are in position and no marauder here whatsoever. There is still a bunker, but the Marines don't get inside, and this won't be enough to defend this. Very, very strong timing.
Yeah, really, not only strong timing, just really well executed with the waves of Banelings being split up. The SCVs have had to be evacuated. There is no air defense now, and there are mines here that are reloading slowly. But the Banshee will clean this up all by itself, but how much damage did he do? Only 11 SCVs killed, a couple of bunkers, a couple of supply depots. I don't think it was enough.
Yeah, he is already in the main base, and I think this is too much damage here being done by xardas. More and more Zerglings are streaming in, and he's trying to go for one nice connect with the mine. In the end, he is in fact holding this, but oh my god, he lost so many of these workers.
25 workers killed, but is it enough? He does have mules, although the Zerg player is was already on 3 bases when this attack happened, so he could immediately begin to drone, and he's in no way behind. In fact, he was ahead before the attack began, in my opinion.
Okay, so in fact, Crank does have the chance here to come back with 3 command centers. I haven't considered this. He has a lot of mule energy indeed, and therefore with his Banshees, if he can do enough damage onto the third base, maybe it will go in his favor.
Yeah, these Queens will probably clean these Banshees up though. The spores are well within range, and Queens do a lot of air DPS. It's actually, stunning amounts of DPS to air units as we can see them tearing that Banshee apart, having to fall back now. There are a lot of Widow Mines, so he's in a pretty safe position now, and Mules will quickly catch him up, but it's all down to what xardas now does with his lead.
Right, so siege tanks and marines, like we were saying before, are in production, so he is still sticking to his plan, not really tempted to go for a very, very strong timing attack early on. So he's like, alright, I just keep on track, I keep on producing my units and workers, and he really needs to reestablish the economy at his natural base.
Yeah, so we do see the spy coming down in answer to the Banshees, and it is going to be a really effective answer to what Crank appears to be doing. He's got 2 factories on the way with the armory coming down, so he's going into that heavy tank Hellbat style that he's been using this evening. And we do see 10 mutas on the way with +1 air weapons already being researched. So he's in a hugely strong position to harass with the mutas and build some sort of ground army to deal with whatever it is that Crank puts out.
Alright, so I'm not sure if I can support the decision from Crank going straight up into this mech style, as he really doesn't have that many workers at the natural yet, and he needs to be really careful about that aggression coming in now from xardas, as he is going with a lot of Mutalisks. There are a few turrets, but no Thors here whatsoever to defend against this. Oh, but the mines.
Oh, those mines. They certainly hurt. And how many kills each? So we got 1 with 1 and 2, so only 3 mutas by the seams of it went down to those mines, but that's, they're expensive units, so those mines have already paid for themselves. More mutas on the way, so he is committing heavily to air attack, and now that the mutas have been seen, we do see Thors being produced. I think those factories came on just in time for the switch to Thors. Good choice in tech switch. Is it going to be enough? We saw Banelings and Lings clean up one of Crank's entire mech armies in a few seconds in the first game. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. So Crank is getting more and more units here, and he really wants to get the 3rd base here. So the Mutalisks are a little bit annoying, and xardas is even attempting to go for a counter-aggression, but I don't think this is gonna work out. There are mines in position, and all the Banelings, they have to be careful. Gonna seek a missile.
Centrifugal hooks are now online, so the Banelings now do have speed. We do have a 50 supply lead for, a 40 supply lead for xardas, and it's definitely evening up here into the mid game with Crank now taking a 3rd base, and he does have the units to play defensively.
Right. So now there's a little bit of lagging. I hope it will be just fine for the moment. But xardas is, in fact, having a really good position here, 4 bases, and especially getting the gas, which is so important, and putting his bank here on spot, and that turret in the main base going down, and therefore he can do so much damage.
44 workers killed by this point, and these mutas, they're not going to stop. They're taking down the armory. Really nice snipe off there, and getting the Raven as well and taking off. Oh my god, Thors!
Oh my god.
The horror. That was an apocalypse for those mutas. Wow. Those Thors in that stance do so much damage, taking down 8 mutas. Those mutas, however, have, I think, taken out about 20 to 30 workers between them. So whether they earned their money back or not is remains to be seen. But now we have a small attack coming in from xardas. He is almost maxed now.
Yes, indeed, here we go. That might be the last attack here from xardas, doing so much damage here, being very, very cost effective. And still Crank has his Thors, they are standing strong. But looking at the supply difference between these 2 players, xardas definitely in favor.
I really like xardas' tech switch here. He's going double Evo. He's devoting to range and +1 carapace because Crank has sunk so much into those anti-air units. The Vikings and the Thors. The Thors, while amazing against air, as we just saw, they're okay against ground units. They don't have the best ground attack in the game, that's for sure. The siege tanks definitely are much better against roaches, and the roaches now with speed can catch those siege tanks while they're not sieged up. And here we go, so many roaches! Oh my god, that is an unbelievable amount of roaches. And he skips the Thors knowing they're not going to do so much damage and starts control shift attacking all of those tech units in the mech army and destroys them. So many roaches. I was wondering where all the supply was, and then all of a sudden, massive roach ball. Really well played by xardas. Just fantastically well played.
Yeah, very strong. Very strong play here from the Zerg, and yeah, I mean we have to also to consider he was also beating Hoven, who showed some really great performance against the other players, and we were like, who can beat actually this guy? And seems this Zerg player xardas did just do so.